Hey, everybody. Welcome to House Calls, the podcast. Tonight is just Matt and I.
Yeah, man, just the two of us. It was funny. I know we couldn't lock down Tom Cruise. We just couldn't make that deal work. I know he was supposed to be here, but we're working on it.
We've had some amazing guests. Now, the one thing we've been doing is we've been having some guests who have a lot of passions, and we
Yep.
talked about that. And I've had a couple people on the side say it's making them a little anxious that they don't have enough passions, they're
Yeah.
not doing enough. So to reach out for those people, I like the way Clever Disguise discussed it, like seasons in your life. And there's a season where you should be chasing your passion, but
Right.
there might be a season where you need to just be on cruise control. And then there might be a season where you need to rest. But I do think there might be some danger for a lot of people if that season of rest turns into a season of boredom, turns into a season of whatever.
Solitude and depression and riding the couch.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
we talk about building a community. Well, you
Yep.
should also learn how to live in solitude also.
Right.
And then but no, kind of be aware of when you need community, when you need solitude.
Yeah. No, everything in moderation.
Is that too deep for you? Because
Oh,
I'm
there's
gonna
a little bit.
drop it down a notch.
Yeah. Could you bring it back?
Just to clarify also, I didn't want you to get too excited. This is my Nike shirt. Just I was working out. We are not sponsored by Nike yet.
Ooh, okay, we got to take out that ad.
And I have two editing things that we need to discuss.
Okay.
The first one was last week's episode. Dominique, we talked about the Jeopardy challenge, and you edited out the entire challenge. So, like Dan Pastorini got traded for Ken Stabler, went to the Raiders, broke his leg, and then Jim Plunkett took over for the Raiders and won the Super Bowl. That was my winning sports question. You edited that out, which frustrated me. And then the
Sure.
fact that Ulysses S. Grant was stationed in Oxford, Mississippi, which I knew, you edited that out, right?
Yep. I
Um,
did.
and then the fact that David Allen Coe saying, please come to Boston, you edited that out. So
Yes, I
three
did.
like pretty tough questions. Yet when Dominique's dog was barking, you never said, hey, let's stop for a second. Let's let her take care of the dog and then keep going.
Ty, unlike you, I give the audience what they want. Okay, you're a little out of touch with what the audience wants, and I read the emails, and you gotta be completely honest. Not a lot of people are really that interested in your 1980s MSA, local high school football knowledge, pro footballs from the 70s, and Rocky references. That's just what the fans are saying. So I'm just trying to give them what they
Okay.
want.
It is football season. So
It
I
is.
do want to dive into kid from Baltimore, you. How did you become a Commanders fan? And before they were the Commanders, they were the Redskins. How did you
Yeah.
become a Commanders fan?
So my father, after college, he and his buddies from school, all lived in the DC area, and somebody's mom worked in the ticket office for the then Washington Redskins and got him season tickets. And so that was in 1964.
Okay.
And so my dad was always a Redskins fan. And by the time I knew what was going on with football, the Colts weren't very good, and then they had moved. And so unlike a lot of people that are probably listening, I'm just a loyal fan. I stick with the Redskins through bad names, through bad coaches, through bad owners, and I just stay loyal with them because a lot of people that I know were fans of the Colts, but when they moved to Indianapolis, they dropped. They don't follow the Colts anymore, and then they jumped on the Ravens bandwagon.
And I think it's fair just to give a little background that I came from a mixed marriage,
Right.
where my mom's family had Baltimore Colts season tickets and my dad's family had Redskins season tickets. And my very, very first email was literally the first email I wrote was a manifesto to you trying to
Yes, it
convince
was.
you to be a Ravens fan.
That manifesto is now at Quantico. The FBI still has that on file, just in case you get a little off track once again.
I feel like the first sentence might have mentioned John Denver, Floyd Rayford, Burt Jones.
It did. It was well structured. It was well crafted, but it was the ramblings of a madman.
So now that we've gotten Matt's incredible insight on the Commanders, and we'll talk about the Ravens another day.
Yes.
How do you feel about these challenges we've been doing?
I like the challenges, and I like anything where it's there's some competition, there's community, and it kind of keeps you in check. It kind of keeps you motivated, to do something. It's interesting, you and I have been walking around and we see people still do some sprinting challenges. It's some people like, oh, what's the challenge now? Because I stopped sprinting, or I stopped working on my core, or I stopped, I stopped, doing carnivore diet, whatever it was. So it's interesting to watch different people add it, do it, and then keep going with it, or take bits and pieces of all the different challenges for their daily workouts.
So I'm thinking as of September 1st is coming rapidly.
Yep.
I think we should do a back to school themed challenge.
All right. Like back
And
to school, like we have to do summer reading. What are you thinking? Book
well,
reports?
the one thing that we need to be honest about is now that we have pretty successful, huge sponsors, we do get
Yes.
pressured from our sponsors,
Oh, we
and
answer to sponsors. Yep.
we are not so independent yet that we cannot. What would you call it? Not listen to our sponsors.
No, no,
Uh,
we still need them more than they need us.
Yeah. So when we signed the with Lisa D reading as fundamental, she requested that we do a reading challenge.
She did. She did.
So the thing, I'm a huge reader, you're a huge reader, and on our Instagram, I think once a week, once every other week, I've been putting like a book recommendation.
Yep.
Nobody comments.
No,
But,
not even.
uh,
And you know what? Not even Lisa.
yeah, but I think we should do a reading challenge. And all I'm saying is that it does not have to, it's like build the habit a little bit.
Right.
And, basically read 10 minutes a day. Uh, but what I don't want is stay away from anything that is going to aggravate you. So I would
Yeah.
recommend you stay away from politics. Um, not that you can't read politics, but I'm like, if you're going to send it into Instagram and be like, this is what I recommend, we're probably not going to post it if it's political or too
Right.
preachy.
No, we want this to be, as you were talking about earlier, the season. So I think the reading season, again, this is making this part of your daily habits, something that relaxes you.
Yeah.
What takes you out of your day to day and just kind of lets you, shut down and relax. And
Fiction or nonfiction.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Like you said, you don't want people's heart rate getting up. Let's find something that relaxes people and makes them calm and happy.
And now I do. Okay. So
All right.
that's our
So
challenge. It's going to be read
challenge
for
is
10
reading,
minutes. We'll
because
put it,
reading is fundamental.
reading is
And
fundamental. And we're going to
and
ask
then
people just to send in what they're reading,
okay.
and we'll post it and kind of be
Yeah.
like 5 out of 5 stars, and say what they're reading. Did they like it? Did they not like it? I mean, I think it's important that if you started something you didn't like it, you throw it down so that we
Yeah.
don't pick that book up either.
Can you do that? Can you finish? Can you start a book and not like it and not finish it?
Uh,
I
so
cannot.
so my wife can, and I would say I've been a pretty avid reader for probably 10 years now, and I still struggle with it because I always think like, okay, it's gonna have a great ending. So I stick with it thinking that it's gonna have a great
Right.
ending, and it's hard. So I am
Yeah.
starting to get a little bit better at just dunking it and
Right.
not reading it. But there's also books that are great books, but I'm just
Right.
not in the mood for them. And so
Yeah.
I have started like stopping a book, starting another book, and then going back to that book.
I gotcha.
And
I
there's
gotcha.
some books where I want the information, so I do want to know what's in there. But if I'm
Right.
not enjoying it, I'm like, now's not the time for it.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's another thing. Right now's not the time. Like this is what my body and my brain needs
Yeah.
right now. But yeah.
And
But yep.
do you listen to books on? Listen to books on tape like it's the 1980s. Do you listen to Audible?
I read a lot on my iPad, but it's
Okay.
funny. My dad just gave me a couple books. One about Earl Weaver, which I've found I have to give to you.
Okay.
But it's hardback, and it's been nice to kind of go back to old school, like
Yeah.
flipping pages.
My point is, for some people who are not great readers, it's okay to substitute Audible. I mean,
Absolutely.
I think it shows like I just want it to be a book and not
Yeah.
a novel, fiction,
Yep.
nonfiction, one of the great literature. Just let us know what you're reading.
Yeah.
And
No,
then,
I think that's great.
did I already mention on the podcast when Dr. Klepper cut me off on the way to work? So, so this was probably 2 weeks ago, and like I'm behind a truck, I'm trying to get over. Klep's behind me. I pulled the left. He's pulling to the left. He's passing me as I'm trying to get over. Totally cut me off. I've never said anything to him at all, but it was funny because since I know him, I was just laughing. Like, what is he rushing to do? Like we were both going to work. I'm like, what is the point of him doing this? Because he just drives like that. And I was laughing, but I was like, huh, if I didn't know who he was, would I have been quite as friendly?
Yeah.
Or would I have been throwing the bird? Would I
I
have
think
been in a
y
road rage
you've been
situation?
in a road rage. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
because we expect less from our friends
Why is that?
because we know them, right? You know, because 'cause we're like, "Yeah, he cut me off, but he that's his clep. He's in his own little world right now. Who knows?"
Well, can we mention can we mention that Klep so nonchalantly this
That was
weekend?
ridiculous.
So it's a 9-hole executive course. I'm all over the place talking about my game the whole time. I think I had like 4 good shots the whole time, and I talked about them probably how long does it take to play golf? An hour and 15 minutes. So
Yep.
45 minutes, we're talking about my shot. He shot a 29 without anybody barely noticing. You
Oh,
noticed. You
I did,
noticed.
and I didn't talk to him because it was like a pitcher with a no-hitter. Yeah, so par 32, and, yeah, he puts up a little 29.
But he's done that before, and
Yeah.
he didn't even mention it,
Yeah,
you know?
I'm like, "Did you just go real low there?" And he's like, "Yeah, well, you birdied blah, blah, blah." Yeah, I guess I did. It was fun to watch.
So would you have the ability to shoot anywhere like that with not telling us the whole time?
No, rare times when I break 80 and I know, I get real tense coming down the finish.
Have you ever met people who don't brag at all about you know people who don't brag at all about anything. Do you
Right.
know about people who don't brag about anything they're good at, but they will actually brag about the useless stuff or the stuff they're not very good at?
Like you?
Beside me?
Oh, oh,
Like my my
I was like I was waiting for something else there.
so where does that come from?
I don't know. With you, I do not know. I've asked many times, but I obviously I enjoy it and love being around it. But it's because you know what it is? It comes from me bullying you because you got to keep coming back, and you are resilient if nothing else.
Okay. So so I think we've covered it all tonight.
Yep.
So so how about us?
How about
Did
us?
any new sponsors come in this week?
Let me check the sponsor email. No,
No. Okay.
no, not yet. We're still trying to close a couple deals there. We thought we had Nike, but we'll blur that out.
Okay. All right.
All right, bud.
Good night.
Good night.